To this short video, which we hope will enable you as mentors to feel supported in prioritising the well-being of student teachers whilst enabling you to work in an effective way alongside your busy roles in schools. We will also outline the well-being offer available to our student teachers throughout their programme. We have a wellbeing offer for our initial teacher training student teachers that spans the whole programme. Wellbeing is everyone's responsibility. This wellbeing model that you can see here, Carol Riff's 6-step model of wellbeing, underpins our wellbeing offer. Self-acceptance, that positive attitude towards yourself, including good and bad qualities, the positive relationships that you have with others that are satisfying, warm and trusting, and intimacy within those relationships, the understanding of a give and take relationship. Autonomy, that self-determination and independence, the ability to resist social pressures to think and act in a particular way, the ability to regulate behaviour from within, all based on our own personal standards. Environmental mastery, the sense of mastery and competence in one's environment, the ability to control a complex array of external activities, the capacity to choose and create contexts that suit needs and values. Purpose in life, the possession of goals and a sense of direction, the feeling that there's more to the meaning in present and past life, and that holding beliefs give us life purpose. Personal growth is the feelings of continued development and the sense that one is growing and expanding, that openness to new experiences, that greater self-knowledge and greater effectiveness. These holistic steps in the model contribute to a sound psychological well-being. The student teachers are embarking on a challenging yet rewarding programme. It is intensive in its nature, which some student teachers thrive with and others may need to be supported more. As a school mentor, you play a powerful role in ensuring that student teachers are well supported, but are also guided to become more proficient as practitioners through reflective practice. The balance of this is crucial and can be a strong determiner of how successful a student teacher is on the programme. To reflect internally on this activity. The activity of moving and appreciating the journey from novice to expert. Maybe consider a hobby or activity that you enjoyed and then think about, how did you get better at that thing? Was the process linear for you? Once you reach that level of competence, were you always consistent? Did you become the very best at that hobby and activity? Have you learnt it at all? And when did you make the most progress? By reflecting on this, we can appreciate the intensity of working in a programme that takes us from novice to expert. We know that to make the world of work more human, leaders and schools need compassion, but not at the expense of wisdom. This is a perfect model for mentor roles. Compassion doesn't need to come at the expense of success. Effective mentorship comes at the intersection of compassion and wisdom. As we mentioned, the student teachers are embarking on an intensive programme and we will need to ensure that they have the support they need, but also the wisdom and knowledge from expert teachers around them to be pushed beyond their comfort zone. Getting tough things done in a human way, you could say. The balance is crucial. Let's look at this model. We will always be aiming for wise compassion, getting tough things done in a human way, as we said. Let's look at the other three quadrants. Caring avoidance, where we have increased compassion, but avoidance of challenging conversations. This can lead to a student teacher being ignorant of what needs to be done, and therefore hinders their progress and action. Ineffective indifference, in the bottom left-hand corner. This is where there's a lack of compassion coupled with being ill-equipped with knowledge, and therefore it can be perceived as lacking interest in others, and there is a breakdown in trust. And then uncaring execution, where there is knowledge and wisdom, but the relationship tends to be one-sided and often seen as task-driven. We hope that we take a wise compassion approach. Mental well-being is also important. Let's think about the reasons why it should be prioritised. You deserve to enjoy your job. Mentorship is a crucial role on our ITT programme, but it's also one of the most enjoyable and rewarding. You deserve to maintain a life outside of your work. Taking on the mentorship role will be an additional responsibility, but we want to balance that with your greater holistic role in school. You shouldn't have to trade your well-being for student success, and so your well-being is also a priority to Best Practice Network. The Wellbeing Framework. There are two layers. The outside are the school level elements that impact and support well-being, and the inner layer are the individual elements. Whilst a distinction has to be drawn, this is not to say that you don't have some influence over those school elements. Likewise, you are not solely responsible for the individual elements, but it is deemed that the strengths of these individual level elements can significantly influence teacher job satisfaction, with higher levels correlating with greater job satisfaction and therefore well-being. That explores this in more detail, and it's an ideal version to use with your student teachers. Here is an ideal version for me. This rarely happens at once in 1 week. There are often obstacles. None of these on the slide cost significant money or is out of the ordinary, but it is about maintaining balance and understanding what I need to do, even if sometimes I don't want to. It can also help me as a model to problem solve my well-being. If I don't feel great this week, it might be because I've been spending too much time on screens and not feeling very present. Therefore, I'll pick up one of those books I've been meaning to read and try, and get out for a 20-minute walk this evening. This model might be useful in your conversations around well-being with your student teachers, but also in maintaining your own well-being. It is useful to be knowledgeable about the key resources and contacts for well-being. Your support network is often a first point of call when dealing with well-being concerns. Your student teacher will have trusted family and friends. These can be extended as well with the contacts within the programme. You as a mentor, personal tutors, and ITAP leads. These people have been through teacher training themselves and have worked with supporting hundreds of trainees, so are very well placed to listen, empathise and problem solve. We have a Best Practice Network Wellbeing lead. So if you feel as a mentor your student teacher is struggling with the demands of the course, then reach out and contact the Wellbeing Champion. The GP is another useful resource. Signposting student teachers to their GP and their local surgery can be supportive. we have a best practice network safeguarding lead. If you're concerned about a trainee and have sensitive information to disclose, please refer here. And you can see other key resources and contacts on the slide.